Today I'm making a copycat recipe of Panera's Cinnamon Crunch Bagels. Let me show you how. To get started, 1.5 cups of warm water. This is roughly 105 to 110 degrees. 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. I always use a fast rise yeast. And 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Just giving this a little mix, letting it rest here for like 5 to 10 minutes. You just want it to get frothy. Once your yeast is frothy, I have a teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of slightly melted butter. You don't want this to be too hot or it'll kill the yeast. I am using salted butter and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And I will be using bread flour for this. I do recommend bread flour for a chewier bagel. Starting with 2 cups and just mix to combine. Grabbed a 1/3 cup, I'll add half. Now that the dough came together and I have a manageable shaggy dough, I'm gonna take the rest of this flour and just dust my mat and flip my dough out. Just dusting the top with a little more flour, and I'll begin to knead for 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll incorporate more flour when the dough gets sticky, and I will let you know exactly how much flour I end up using. I used 3 cups of flour in total, and my dough looks perfect. It's no longer sticky. If your dough still feels sticky, don't be afraid to sprinkle on a little flour and knead until it looks like this. Just lightly greasing my bowl with olive oil. I just placed my dough in, cover it up, let it rest in a warm spot for about an hour to an hour and a half. You just want it to double in size. This should probably only take me an hour since I used a fast rise yeast. It's been an hour and my dough has doubled. You can make your bagels any size you want. I'm gonna cut this into 6, taking each section and forming a ball. And then you simply just poke a hole right in the middle, and you got a bagel. Once you've shaped your bagels, just cover them up. We're gonna let them rest for about 20 minutes while we get a big pot of water boiling. Once your water comes to boil, I'm just adding 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And you'll notice that your bagels puff up a little bit while they rest. That's exactly what you want. Placing these in the water and letting them cook 30 seconds per side. Remove any excess water and transfer to a cookie sheet that's lined with parchment paper. The bagels are done. I'm just making a little egg wash with 1 egg and a splash of water. The topping is going to be 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of white sugar, tablespoon of cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. This bowl is 3 tablespoons of melted butter. It's not hot, but it is melted. And I just added 1 teaspoon of light corn syrup to this. That's going to give us that shiny, crackly, crunchy topping. Mixing the dry ingredients together, slowly drizzling the butter and corn syrup. Careful not to overmix. You just want these nice little crumb pieces. Brushing the tops with the egg wash, and then place the crumb mixture right on top. My oven is preheated to 425. This is how they look before going in, and I'll let you know how long I bake them for. While those are baking, I just whipped up some cream cheese with cinnamon, honey, a pinch of salt, and a splash of vanilla, but I'll leave all the measurements in the caption. Just pulling these out, they baked for 20 minutes, and I just transfer right to a cutting board. And this is how they look. The topping will get crunchy as they set and cool. Okay, these are still cooling, but you can hear the little crunchy top. And here's one up close. I could have probably let this bake for another minute or 2, but I have to run out the door. These haven't fully cooled, but let me cut into one to show you. And here it is, still very hot with the whipped cream cheese. God, this is gonna be good. Cheers. Absolutely delicious. I had a lot of requests for this recipe, and thank you, because this is a good one. That is going to be a good bite. Let me know if you try it.